Would you like to learn why I believe the DJI6930 is going to go super parabolic across the next 6 months, and why I believe that DJI6930 is not only going to outperform SPX6900 but also dilute it? If you are interested in learning more, my name is the Superman, your superhero of 100 to 1000x gems. I have been in cryptocurrency for 8 years. I have found the most amount of explosive multiplier coins than any YouTuber and any X account actually ever. Because I've been in this market a long time, I know what works. So if you love content like this, then make sure you smash a like on this video. Let me just make sure that I'm live and yeah, everything is fine. So there I am. Can you hear me okay and everything? Yes, you can. So I would invite you to smash a like on this video. Right, okay. So things are really heating up in the cryptocurrency market. We are now at 57. We've gone well over 50. We're now erring towards altcoin season. Look, it's not altcoin season yet, but we're getting there. Look. It's now on our side. If you're looking at altcoin, kind of, halfway of Bitcoin season and altcoin season, we are now in the altcoin side. Okay, so things are really heating up. Ethereum is blowing up, and so are altcoins generally. And this is boding very, very well for the remainder of this market. Now, in my personal opinion, until I'm proven wrong, every crypto market cycle has lasted 4 years. So unless we have an elongated market that ignores the previous cycles, then I will look at maybe a different formation. But for now, we have only ever been operating in 4-year cycles. So on the basis that this encapsulates essentially this side being the bullish side and this side being the bearish side, where I believe we are right now is we have been in this market for quite some time, and now we are going to go towards the hockey stick. I believe we have had some form of media attention. Donald Trump, the Genius Act, and, his meme coin, all these various things have actually put a spotlight on cryptocurrency. So we are having some form of media attention. Is it like it was in 2021? Possibly not, where we had Elon Musk, who was saying he's the CEO of Dogecoin, and that just led to, all dog coins absolutely blowing the F up. So I would argue we are still in the media attention phase, right? Where we are kind of in lukewarm media attention. Right now we are seeing altcoin spiking. We're seeing altcoin season heating up. And this is giving an indication that we're moving out of sleepy mode. We're moving out of bearish mode, which is what we've been in the first 6 months of the year, right? And now we're moving to, in my opinion, the most pivotal time in the crypto market, which is the parabola stage, the parabola. Now let me tell you this. Dowge, or DJI6930, has been one of the best performing coins of all time already. It's been out for 2 weeks. It has essentially, 100x'd. Okay, it's essentially 100x'd in the last 2 weeks. But so what, right? Because if you think about it logically, where we are right now for the journey of DJI6930 is we are here, all right? So this is the equivalent for where SPX was, okay? So around about 5 cents. So that's there. Look. Now, yes, we've gone up. Every coin that has gone up to a 50 million market cap has, of course, 100x'd. And what's happened so far with DJI6930 is that we have had a lot of people already get rich. There's already people that have made life-changing money. And the fact of the matter is, these are probably retail investors, not even insiders, because I've not sold any, right? So these are retail investors that have been selling, right? And have already become rich. They were probably not poor, but wanting to be rich and actually making the transition into being rich. And in my personal opinion, that is what the parabola stage is going to be doing for anybody who is in DJI6930, right? Anybody in DJI6930 has still got all of this parabola movement to come for DJI6930, for holding it. Now, why do I think it's going to outpace and outperform SPX? Well, the reason why is because SPX has essentially now hit a critical mass. Okay, it's at near 2 billion. It's at $2. You know, when you have a look at where it was, you know, most retail investors would look as an opportunity to go from wanting money. I don't want to say poor, but for simplicity, poor to rich. Okay, they've already gone poor to rich in SPX. They've already hit a critical mass. You know, even in the dip that I was actually recommending, you know, that SPX was a good time to get into SPX. You know, even the people that got in here have made a 10x now. All right, and this is just pre-parabola. This has already hit a critical mass. So what that means is that this is going to need an unbelievable amount of volume. I mean, a seriously unbelievable amount of volume in order to make this do a 2x, right? A 2x. You are going to need the volume of America, basically, to even make this 2x, right? The amount of mass needed is huge to make this just do a 2x. Now, yes, in parabola, the money flow is so rampant that yes, this can shift in multipliers. But even the people in SPX themselves, unless they got in early, there has been, at this point, no better opportunity than SPX. There's been no better movement, no better cult, no better mission. Actually, there has been no substitute for SPX, so they just stay in SPX. There's no realistic, noisy, committed, obsessive community with a delusional target since SPX. You know, SPX, this is all they've had. And SPX, the magic of SPX is that they've got a wild, crazy target of $69 trillion. Right? So they're looking to flip the SPX 500 with a combined value of $50 trillion. All the 500 companies in the Standard & Poor. That comprises $50 trillion. So their target is $69 trillion, right? Now, that $69 trillion is the equivalent of those people who say that, you know, that XRP is going to go to $589, okay? Now, that came out all the way back in, like, 2017. That figure came out as XRP will one day be worth $589 per XRP, right? And that delusional target is what's built the XRP army. Because they are all, that delusional target has always been there, and people have always thought it was achievable because, you know, in the context of the entire cryptocurrency market, if a newbie investor was to come in and look at CoinMarketCap right now, they would see Bitcoin, $119,000. Ethereum, $3,800. So they're going to be thinking, right, with $100, I can only buy the tiniest fraction of Bitcoin or a tiny fraction of Ethereum. But XRP, I can buy a ton of coins, right? So they're thinking, well, if these have gone up to 118K and 3.8K, why can't this go to $500? And so XRP is always the cryptocurrency that had the delusional target until SPX came along with a better idea, right? But the difference being is that the people in XRP are mostly idiots, right? Because they just don't understand market cap. It's literally impossible that even in my son's lifetime that it will even get even half of $589. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that is what they're aiming for, and if the collective have a belief in a goal so high, and there is an actual transcribed, but there's an actual tangible figure that they're chasing, then the overall outcome, the eventual outcome, is going to be higher because they're chasing it. So they may not ever achieve it, but they'll get close to it, and that is what's driven XRP's action up till now. And now SPX are kind of doing the same. They've reached a $2 billion market cap against a $69 trillion target. And so that belief has actually caused for a very committed, sticky community. But having said that, right, in just the last couple of weeks, that I have been essentially all about Dowge and the DJI6930, I have noticed that that noise has dissipated. It really has. Like, they are much quieter. I'm going to show you a real-time example. Okay, so here is Across the Rubicon talking about SPX, right? Last chance to buy SPX. Now, what you would expect if you go into the comments is for the SPX army to be there. All right, you'd expect them to be saying, yeah, go SPX. SPX is going to go to 69 trillion. SPX this, SPX that. Let's have a look at the comments. The highest voted comments. Dowge, Dowge, Dowge. Dowge. How long are you going to neglect Dowge? Just buy Dowge. Dowge is the one. Who needs XPX? Dowge. Like, if I were across the Rubicon, looking in my comments, I would literally think, what the fuck? You know, SPX is meant to be this community, and that's what, at the end of the day, that's what Across the Rubicon's doing, right? Yeah, Murad has got a 720,000 followers on Twitter, right? That pretty much are all SPX army. And he is engagement farming that by doing videos constantly about SPX, right? I don't think he gives a shit about SPX that much, right? But being an Aeon, you know, he probably is, you know, really trying to fight the cause. He's obviously got a big position in it, right? But if I was him, I would be thinking, isn't the SPX army meant to be all over my comments? Bear with me 1 second. Let me just upload this to X. Bear with me 1 second. Share. X. It's quite a manual process, this, so therefore it needs about 20 seconds. There we are. Done and done. There we are. So I would be thinking, if I was across the Rubicon, I'd be thinking, why isn't SPX all over my comments supporting me and telling me I'm doing a good job, right? Whereas this SPX competitor is all over my comments. Look, the first 20 comments, like, is there actually anybody? Is there anybody saying SPX? No. How about SPX6900 and Dowge? Right? So the actual first SPX supported comment is actually including Dowge. So what's happening then is SPX, or Dowge, SPX are actually embracing Dowge. So it's almost a combined effort. And the reason being is because, in my personal opinion, I am not against SPX. You know, I love SPX. But we're after a different enemy. But still, we are aiming for a big target, and we've got a very, very sticky, obsessive community. And that could not be made more plain from the fact that look at the support in the comments. And then we got 1, let's go SPX 14, right? SPX, yes, 7. And then look, now SPX and Dowge. Please, mate, don't be blind to Dowge. Like, look. SPX overpumped, crashing now. There is hardly anybody in his comments supporting SPX. Only a few people. And this is a video about SPX. By a biggish YouTuber as well. Yeah, by one of the big YouTubers, and not a single SPX is out there. Now, this is how it should look, right? So, last night, Joe Parry's, he, with near 500,000 subscribers, and in 13 hours, 20k views. Like, he's already outperformed. Like, my views is like 20k over a week. He's got in less than a day 20k views, because he is, yeah, he's serious. He's seriously good pumping YouTuber, right? And he talked about Dowge, right? And he not only talked about Dowge, so he talked about Dowge. He also said that SPX. I'm going to mute it. But he also said that SPX, look at this. He is going to put SPX into the 5X category, right? And he has actually been an evangelist for SPX. But Dowge, look what he does with Dowge. So he says if Dowge is to achieve what SPX has done, then look, this can achieve a 100X. So he puts it in 100X, right? So he talks about SPX and Dowge. Now, you would expect, again, that SPX would be like, SPX is going to beat Dowge, or SPX is going to be the best. SPX is going to be 100X, right? But let's see what we see in the comments. Dowge, 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 DJI, Dowge, Dowge, TJI. It's just, It's completely overrun, completely Dowge bombed. Completely Dowge bombed. And even the one mention of SPX6900, you've also got Dowge in there. Right? Dowge, 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 Dowge. It's straight up all Dowge. Not a single SPXer. Right? Now, Joe Parry's is a holder of SPX. Joe Parry's is a holder of DJI6930, right? So this isn't just a video to say, oh, I think it's got 100x potential. He's actually a hodler of DJI6930, right? So, so already you are seeing now the network effect taking place, which is what I said would happen, all right? So again, if we go back to DJI6930, look, hodlers. In fact, is that even accurate? Let me have a look. So, hodlers, 18 away from 12,000. In the last video I brought you, this was like not even 9,000 yet. And it's already going up to 12,000. Like, basically, this is spreading like wildfire. Right? And the thing is, why DJI6930 is going to outperform pretty much 99.9999999% of meme coins is because this is a hodl coin. The reason why people are hodling this is because they're hodling to riches. They are looking to turn their life around completely, right? And the collective are, right? You don't get to 12,000 hodlers by people speculating and gambling, right? A market cap like this is continuously attracting hodlers, right? I'd understand if, there was 3,000 extra hodlers and this was like 500k market cap to say these are speculators, these are gamblers, right? But they're not. We have had 3,000 new hodlers after it's already gone over 40 million valuation, right? And that's saying that people are not speculating, not gambling, they are holding. They're looking to hold, they're looking to be part of the next big cult community, because SPX has already shown what can be done if you've got a fantastic target. You've got something that transcends the crypto market, something that transcends passion, transcends spirit. People that are actually seeing this as generational wealth creator, right? SPX has shown that way. DJI6930 is doing the exact same thing, and this is the newest, the low market cap version of SPX. SPX is now a blue chip cryptocurrency. And let me show you something else, right? So what we've got is we have got DJI6900 absolutely blowing away in terms of multipliers, in terms of growth, blowing away everything here, right? Look, 255% in the last 7 days, yeah? So let me show you this, right? So this is Dowge with just me. Crypto Games has done a video. Win All Day. 100x Crypto Gems. Joe Parry's, right? So arguably smaller, in terms of a combined value, smaller than the amount SPX has been shilled, because that's being shilled by everyone, right? And the combined efforts of that is massive, right? And even with a smaller combined collective effort, this is outperforming all AI coins, gaming, layer 1s, infrastructure, layer 2s, everything. This is killing the whole lot, okay? With small amounts of promotion. Do you know why? Because if you are a trinite, you are making the difference. Fuck YouTubers, right? Fuck YouTubers. Do you need Elio? Do you need Alex Becker? Do you need Virtual Bacon? Altcoin Daily? Coin Bureau? Do you need them? No. You know why? Because we got you, you are bigger than any YouTuber, right? So right now, and I'm tweeting these, right? Right now, the amount of posts about DJI, right? User-created posts, brilliant artwork, memes galore, great quality memes, are being spread across X like wildfire. This is one post, 7.5k, right? 3.3k. 9.1k. Like, these are spreading. All of these are building network effect, right? And the network effect is only going to lead to more. Look, Crypto Queen Amy. She's brilliant on TikTok, honestly. If you haven't subscribed to her, subscribe. She is brilliant, right? Excellent videos on TikTok. But the network effect is taking place right now. Okay, so in 2 weeks of being live, nearly 3 weeks, the network effect is really creating waves, creating massive waves, right? More and more people are joining. More and more people are obsessive about the target of beating the Dow Jones, right? More and more people are generating art, content, spreading everywhere, right? This is a viral phenomenon. It's a sensation what's going on right now. I've been in crypto 8 years, never seen anything like this since Shiba Inu. I've never seen anything like this. This is, this is hysteria about one coin. And let me show you something else, right? These are coins that are on or around about the same market cap that Dowge has been, and released on or around about the same time that Dowge was released, okay? So, Manu. At one point, this was like 50 million, and Dowge was 15 million. And look at what has happened since. This has had like overdose and a ton of people shilling it. And now look, like Dowge is double. Unicorn Fart Dust, again, this has some of the worst influencers talk about this utter crap. Dowge is killing it. Wojak, this has been around 2 years. An Ethereum meme coin with a central meme character, Wojak. Double Wojak. Retardio, a Murad coin, double that. GME, this is the kind of philosophical and spiritual equivalent of Dowge. Because GME is all about, turning the tables on the big wealth bankers, the stock brokers, turning the tables on them. So this is essentially, in spirit, the same as Dowge. And Dowge is nearly triple the value of GME, destroying Sigma, another Murad coin, House coin, Momo, Labubu, Moonpig, Dej. Now Dej, this coin, not long ago, was $150 million. What? 150 million. This crap was. Now, again, these guys were trying. Doesn't know what I mean. It was final start. Are they even still around? They're gone. The Dej website's gone. It's gone, right? But I showed you it the other day, and these guys were like, "Oh, we're a philosophy. We're a mission. A mission for what?" Like, they just had no chance, right? But a bunch of crazy people, got into this, and the gamble didn't work. This is gone. Why? Because there is no real mission here. There's no real movement. There's no passion. I personally, spending a lot of time on X, didn't see shit about this, right? So that's just going to show you this is a gambling coin. This is a pure gamble that didn't work, right? And just like altcoin, another one that had a shit ton of hodlers, but really, they got ruined. In fact, nobody really even got rich from this, right? So, it's adequate that the coin that's right next to is scam. But you can see that Dowge is the real deal, because look, these are decent, other than Dej, these are decent competitors, and Dowge is murdering them, and it's the newest. The newest. Well, it says 1 month here, but really it's 2 weeks, right? It's the newest, and it's murdering the lot, right? And it just keeps growing too. It just keeps growing. Now, David Gotchenstein said this: "The next billion-dollar meme won't need a VC, a roadmap, or a white paper, just a community that refuses to lose." Now, in my opinion, the trinites refuse to lose. I do think in my 8 years, and I've seen ADA, I've seen XRP, I've seen Bitcoin maximalists, I've seen Pulse Chain and hexagons, I've seen all of the big cults begin and grow over years. And not once have I ever seen a more passionate, more loyal community than the Trinites. Never. Right? Like, it's 1000% memetic. Right? And that is the key thing. Because Pulse Chain's not a meme. Hex is not a meme. Right? Richard Hart may be the meme, but they are not meme projects. Right? You can't... It's not a project that is instantly shareable, instantly captures imagination, is instantly relatable, because you don't have memes, right? So this has got rich memetic qualities, right? That by buying and broadcasting, you're spreading it like wildfire. And, Pulse Chain doesn't have it. XRP certainly does not have it. You've got the XRP army, but there's no... It's lasted for many years, but new investors coming in are not going to see XRP army, right? They are going to see this on X. And all the others, they're just, meme coins in disguise. All of these coins are wishing to have the same memetic attraction as Dowge, right? All of these coins, if you look on their Twitters, they are always posting memes, trying to be relatable, but it doesn't work because they're utility coins, right? Their utility is an excuse to market. Oh, we've released this function. Oh, we've released that function. We've released this, whatever. And they're all just marketing ploys to make the price go up. But eventually, people just realize they're dead wood. Because no one cares. Right? The reason these have pumped is because of marketing events. New this, new that, new this, new that, right? And people invest in it, but realize they're not passionate about it. And then something like SPX or DJI comes along, and then bang, it hits that spot on the nose, right? And that's only going to get bigger. That sentiment is only going to grow from here because it's, again, 2 weeks old. It's already grown astronomically, and that is as a result of the community. We didn't need Alex Becker. In fact, let me just show you what's happened. So Alex Becker has done probably about 10 videos covering the same coins, right? And today was the latest. And yet, let's have a look and see the result. Pudgy Penguin's going up anyway, so that's not directly related to him. And then the rest of them are just pretty pathetic. They're pretty pathetic. The gains are rubbish. And we're talking about a YouTuber with 1.6 million subscribers. And he just did a video that's already got like 50k views in like a couple of hours. And these coins have, in fact, for the most part, most of these coins have just absolutely been kicked into the ground. Because they're overshilled. Look, Destra, he has said Destra is the next big thing in AI infrastructure since sliced bread. And down 1%, And yet, Dowge, it captures the people's imagination. This is something that actually is an asset that people can go from poor to rich in. It's already started happening in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, people have gone from poor to rich, right? And they have started to sell out, enabling for the new generation to come in and become rich, right? So they're selling out. Other people, the people that were non-believers, that don't believe in the philosophical, steps of the movement, don't sell. Don't look at charts. No TA. No pump, no paid shills. None of this. It's just pure buy, believe, broadcast. That's it. It's in the community's hands. And the collective community of Dowge has basically just trumped any YouTuber. Trumped any YouTuber. If Alex Becker was to cover Dowge, it wouldn't have anywhere near the effect you guys as a collective have created to not only the price, but the overall mission as a whole. Like, this is a real movement. Like, you can't call something a movement unless you've got people that believe in it. Obsessives that are looking to achieve this mission. Right? You can't call something a movement. And that's why near 100% of all movements are not movements. They're trying to class themselves as movements, but at the end of the day, they are just a Temu DJI6900. To be honest, they're just a pile of crap. But I mean, the trinites, you only have to look at Joe Parry's, his comments. 233 comments, and I can guarantee you 60% at least are from the Dowge community. Across the Rubicon, with 153 comments, I can guarantee you that 70% of these are about Dowge. And you only have to look in the trinites community. Like, the memes are brilliant. The people are strong, they are broadcasting. Right? If you look at any traditional cryptocurrency, all right, Sensei, do you think anybody feels spiritually incentivized to talk about Sensei? Do you think any of these coins make people feel a spiritual want or spiritual connection? Where they are part of it. Dowge's growth is because of the spiritual connection between holder and movement. Dowge represents the movement. You guys are the hodlers, and anybody wanting to be a hodler. And in the middle is this spiritual energy and magnet that is bringing the two together in perfect symbiosis, therefore achieving the growth. But the growth is incidental. The growth is natural. It's not forced. It's just pure network effect. And after 2 weeks, we're just gathering speed, and the SPX people are beginning to realize that SPX is not bad. It's a good coin. Still hold some SPX for their goal of achieving their mission. But let's move over to Dowge. And therefore, these people are like, they've already got the mentality of, we're not here to trade. We're here to just buy and hold. And they're going to be actually made rich by Dowge, not by SPX. So they're going to be preserving what they've got, the money they've made. They're going to be like growing. It's going to be appreciating, like buying Bitcoin. It's going to be appreciating with SPX. But they're going to be generating wealth with Dowge, right? So they're going to be telling their friends and their family, when it comes to, the parabola time, they're going to be telling their friends and their family, this is what got me rich. Like, this is the coin that could get you rich, if you're in it. And so that's going to lead again to the network effect. And what you've also got to remember is at this point, Dowge is where it is with not a single exchange. Okay, with a couple of exchanges. Okay, I speak out of turn. So Dowge has got KCX. I think that's what you call it, KCX. And they've got another one which isn't on here, which I think is Bitcoin China or something like that. But I mean, KCX is an up-and-comer. Look at that spot trading volume. Here, 4 billion. Right? Spot trading volume, 4 billion. Like, they're an up-and-comer. I hadn't heard of them, actually, but now I see them everywhere, actually. They're like becoming the next kind of MEXC, I suppose. So, we've got like 2 exchanges. And somebody did actually say in my comments the other day, they said something about, and I don't know about, and I'm not going to even try, look at this. This stuff's brilliant. I love the community. Like, I wouldn't have thought of this stuff. Like, it's just fantastic. And this, look. It's brilliant. Like, this is a real movement. It's not loading, but this is a real movement. You can see it. Look. SPX Whale bought into DJI6930. SPX Whale. DJI6930. Like, they're pivoting. Or at least they are, they're believing that, let's go for both. Somebody said, no, I've gone too far. But somebody said that this looks like... Here, is this it? CEX listings are coming. When you see 3 big fat daily green candles, it usually means that centralized exchanges are loading up for a listing. Most likely suspects Bitmart, Lbank, Mexi, Gate. Now, I don't know if this is the case. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like it is. Like the Man U guys pretending like Binance have bought up some Man U as bullshit. Right? But this may be the case. But the fact of the matter is the point I'm trying to make is we're still super early. It's only 2 weeks gone, right? And yet we probably are seeing interest from exchanges because, you know, let's just have a look at DJI, right? Look at the volume, 6.1 million. Now, of course, if you're an exchange, you want a slice of this, right? Because, of course, you can just add your fee on top, right? They're probably going to want a slice. And, you know, the transaction's very, very high. Unbelievable stuff, right? And this is just showing you that this actually is interesting from centralized exchanges, whether it's them or not. I'm talking just hypothetically. This is interesting food for thought. When they are making decisions on what to list, they're going to be looking for the most hyped, you know, communities, because if there's a hyped community, bringing volume to them, they're going to love that. That's why certain exchanges have listed SPX. Because they know that, you know, if an exchange puts out a tweet saying, vote if you want SPX listed on our website, a ton of people are going to become new users, right? They are going to be capitalizing and exploiting a meme coins community to grow their own user base. So therefore, they look at something like this and they think this is interesting, right? So therefore, as I said, this is in the early stages, and who knows what's going to be coming for this, right? Look at that perfect symbiosis there. 6.1 million, 61 million. Fucking, this is such a spiritual cryptocurrency on so many levels. And the thing is, right, is that meme coins, you know, meme coins in general, yeah? There are so many, you know, tens of thousands being created a day, yeah? There is just so much degenerate gambling. There's so many gambles, and let's face it, in 90% of occasions, people are going to lose. They're going to go on Deck Screener, they're going to see, oh, this coin, let's put 100 in it, and it'll rug in the next few hours, and then they've lost. And that will happen 90% of occasions. Because the more meme coins come out, the greater the amount of gambling and the shorter the amount of hodling, right? So what used to be the case is that when people bought a meme coin, the average hodl time would be about 2 minutes, right? So if you're buying something on pump.fun or something in the trenches, you're holding for 2 minutes, right? Before you sell. And so profiting was a little easier when there were less meme coins. Now there are way more meme coins, and so the hodl time is reduced from 2 minutes to 40 seconds. So the average person buying a meme coin is holding for 40 seconds before they sell it. Therefore increasing the risk, therefore increasing the wreckness and the crashing, the rugging of coins, and therefore opening out a want and a need to get involved in a meme coin that actually is one worth holding. Not for 2 minutes, not for 40 seconds, but for 6 months. So the amount of people getting wrecked is a net positive for DJI6930. And that's why this, in my opinion, will only continue to grow. Like, ever since the beginning, all this has done is grow. It reaches sometimes a sideways momentum, and then it grows. Sideways for a bit, and then it grows. Sideways for a bit, and then it grows. And the same's happening right now. Like, it hit a peak of 67, I believe. 67 million. But on or around about 50 to 60 million is the window. Just like back here was between kind of mid-30s and early 40s. And then back here was kind of under 20 million, between kind of 16 and 20 million for quite a while. But all that ever happens is sideways up, sideways up, sideways up. This is not happening with any other meme coins. It's not happening with any of the meme coins here. Let's have a look at Man U, for instance. One of the ones that people are really hyping up about. You know, this one, you know, went up and then dumped. This one up to 50 million, dumped to like 18 million. Right? We've not had that with DJI. Why? Because, and this is number one. Ranked number one meme coin. What? Let's just have a look at Man U. Alright? So this is like a Shiba Inu competitor. Now, don't get me wrong. I really like the design of Man U. Like, I like the logo of it. It's cool. It's different. It differentiates from your typical orange cream coloured Shiba Inu, right? And it's potentially 3.1 million followers on Instagram, 11 million subscribers on YouTube. So, you know, arguably, these guys have got some form of brand. And in my opinion, the reason why this has failed is because this is not a movement. Okay, it's a brand. It's like people are like, oh, this could be the next Shiba Inu. But once that illusion goes, what else is there? At least with Dowge, there is a constant, concrete target, 30 trillion, you know, to flip the Dow Jones. Now, many people say, I've had messages, people say, Superman, you don't really expect it to achieve, you know, flipping the Dow, do you? It doesn't matter whether it does or doesn't. The belief in going for that target increases the odds of a very, very high outcome either way, right? So whether it does or not doesn't really matter. Even in the case of SPX, whether they can achieve 69 trillion or not, which would make it, you know, arguably tons bigger than Bitcoin, is immaterial. Because if they achieve 10% of that target, it makes 1,000 X's. If they achieve 1% of that target, it makes 1,000 or 100 X's. Now, Dowge, because it's got a much lower starting point than SPX at 2 billion, if this gets to 1% of the Dow Jones, this will make 10,000 or 100,000 X. If it gets to 10%, you know, we're looking at closer to 1 million X. You know, XRP ever going to get to 500? Who knows? Or SPX going to get to 69 trillion? Who knows? A Dowge going to get to 30 trillion? Who knows? But the fact that they've got a target, an actual tangible target, gives them something to hope for, gives a movement, creates a movement, creates a mission. That's the point. And that's why this works. This doesn't work. What is unicorn fart dust? Nothing. A poor man's attempt at fart coin. Man U, again, once the illusion fades that they can't get anywhere near Shiba, and once people stop believing Binance are going to list them, this is going to die again. Retardio, no, not much to say about that. But the fact of the matter is that none of these coins are movements. They're not. Because none of them are actually going for a target. Even GME, there's no target. It's like, what are you investing in? Do you believe in GME? What are you investing in? Nothing. There's no kind of end goal. There's no mission to be accomplished. It just is, which is not much substance. Whereas this comparatively has substance. Like, if you can't see what I'm seeing, I am surprised. Because I've been in crypto 8 years, and I am literally obsessed with this coin. Like, I, over anything else, just do not care about other coins. Like, people say, and this has always been my appetite, you know, in any of my Superman mastermind groups. People are like, Super, what do you think of this coin? What do you think of that coin? Like 60k market cap, 100k market cap. Basically, a market cap that's extremely, you know, 100x potential. Market cap alone, I'm talking about. So I would look at these coins and think, you know what, this is probably worth a gamble. Now, I am not gambling. I don't care to gamble at all. I am just fixated on this. Fixated. Right? I think that this has got incredible potential. And so I'm fixated on it. I love it. And more than that, I love what the community say. You know, I love what they say. You know, it's a unified message. And that's what's great about a movement, is it's a unified message. Flipping the SPX, flipping the Dow, going to 1 billion, spiritual energy. It's a movement. Like, this stuff is a consistent messaging. Consistent. Buy, believe, broadcast. Believe in something greater than yourself. This is consistent. And that messaging is why it grows like wildfire, because everybody is saying the same thing. The artwork is pretty much consistent too. And a comment I saw earlier, which I actually retweeted. This. I can tell you, I have had a genuine shift in mindset since I discovered Dowge. Never expected it to come from a crypto. The feeling of believing in and building something from the ground up, bringing others along for the journey, and the sense of belonging. Like, is there a better description of a tokenized community, a cult coin, a cult community, and a movement coin than this? And the reason I highlight it is because I feel the same. Right, so enough of the shelling, as people would probably say. Let's have a look and see what you guys have to say. What is your opinion on Mishi, on Solana? Don't care. Sounds shit. Just sounds like a typical crappy animal meme coin. So Dowge, given its current market cap, is still early, given its potential. Yes, it's early. Look, if you could have got into SPX at this... Let me just bring up SPX. If I could take you back into a time machine, show you this graph and say, look, this is where SPX is going to be, $2, right? What do you think about... And the price at that time is 6 cents. Like, right here is the price right now of Dowge, right? If I was to take you back to the 27th of September last year and say, would you invest in SPX? Would you say, no, it doesn't have enough potential? It's 60 million. It's not got that much potential? No, you wouldn't. Now, yes, you've got the benefit of being able to see into the future and knowing it's ended up being $2. And there's no guarantee Dowge will do that. But let's face it, look at the growth of Dowge so far. It's only gone up. It's only captured more believers. Why would it not? How could it not? Like, it at least gives a thesis as to why it should achieve similar to SPX. And in my opinion, people are noisier with Dowge. They're just noisier. Forget the MAGA movement. I joined the Dowge movement. Indeed. AS is undervalued right now. For those saying Dowge is too high, go into AS. Right. Look. Epsilon, I won't ban you right now because I've seen you in quite a few of my videos. But don't tell people what they should buy, right? People should buy what they like. Because at the end of the day, people's decisions to buy should be their own. It shouldn't be anyone else's. You shouldn't say buy this coin that I'm invested in to be my exit liquidity. Now, you may not be doing that, but that basically is what you are doing, right? You should say buy what you like, buy what resonates with you, all right? Because it's a low market cap, and I'm in AS, and I love AS. I mean, not right now. I'm not in AS, but I'm holding AS. But it may not do as well as Dowge, right? Even a market cap significantly lower, it may not do anywhere near what Dowge will do. So just doing that is being manipulative. There are other YouTubers talk about Dowge. There are. And I am shouting them out whenever I can. You know, we've got Crypto Amy, Crypto Queen Amy. We've got Win All Day. We've got 100x Gems. Joe Parry's obviously, Crypto Gains, myself. There are more. I mean, there are people making a name for themselves with Dowge as well, which is good. I don't disagree with it. I think that Dowge has the potential to make investors rich, hodlers rich, the people who actually listen to the teachings of Dowge, which is don't sell, just hodl and believe, stop trading, buy broadcast, buy believe broadcast. Those are the people who are going to make it as investors, but YouTubers have an opportunity to make a name for themselves with Dowge as well, and should try as well. So I would encourage any smaller YouTubers to make content on Dowge and see what happens, because a movement is going to get more subscribers than the average person doing 10 coins to whatever. 10 coins that could 100x. Because that doesn't matter. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to have people investing in other coins, losing, and then blaming you. Whereas if you are talking about one coin that at this point is showing all the makings of success, everybody's going to thank you. And they're not going to think about, they've got no reason to think about bad coins then, have they? Harry Aspinall can't seem to be able to super chat. I don't know if super chat is enabled, actually. By the way, people, if I could trouble you for tap on the like button. As you guys are trinites, you guys will automatically help for this to be found by more future trinites. So if you could just tap that button, I would be very, very pleased with you. Aim for the stars, land on the moon. Precisely. Supo gems are on fire. They are, actually. And it's good to see. Because no coin should be reliant on me. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if I die tomorrow, which again I hope I don't, I believe that the snowball effect of the network that has grown with Dowge will continue on without me. You know, it will only turn into a bigger monster. You know? So you don't need me. But the thing is a coin that relies upon a YouTuber to grow may not necessarily be the best coin to be in. No big centralized exchanges. No, there isn't. All of Super Gyms will do well, but Dowge is king. Thank you very much. I do think so. Supo Pom is everything that Pom should have been. No, I don't disagree with that. I think Supo Pom. I think that the guys there are doing a phenomenal job, in fact. Hold on. It's banning a moron. Talbot is a good pick, though. Nah, it's not. It's a shit pick. It's a shit pick. Brother, it is late for us to buy now. Can you help us with a low market cap meme? This is the problem. And this is why so many of the Supo community have pivoted to Dowge. Because they're sick and tired of losing. They're sick and tired of buying a cryptocurrency that may be low in market cap, but then just gets rugged anyway. Like, the amount of people... I mean, sometimes when I look at my chat and see what people have tagged me, and they're like, Super, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this? And I get to it 2 weeks later, yeah? And they're saying, oh, it's only a 10k market cap. It's only a 50k market cap. It's a 100k market cap. And when I actually get around to looking at the deck screener profile, it's like at 6k market cap or at 3k market cap. Like, it got rugged. Even though it was small, it got rugged anyway and still wrecked people at a 60k market cap. So, you know, asking me and saying, Super, come up with a low cap coin. It's like, okay, fine. But you're going to probably lose money. Right? So, is that what you want to do? Do it. But the whole point of Dowge is that it kind of makes a call to the people who that keep gambling and get nowhere. And I know people want me to find another Dowge because they want to get rich and they want to be in it from like 10k market cap. But there is no other Dowge. I'm sorry, there is no other Dowge. I have not found anything like Dowge since Ethos, right? I've not found one like this. This is truly special. And if you were in the Superman community, you would have got this at 600k. But but the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter, because people are leaving, and somebody who bought at 600k sold at 1.2, sold at 2 million. So even if they got in early, they didn't have the balls to last, and so made a shit multiplier anyway. Like, so getting in now when it's stronger, more established, still pre-exchange, still pre-critical mass, you got the opportunity to even outperform the people that got in at 600k. And I know people that got in at 200k and sold at 300k. You know, so, you know, it's not about entry necessarily, entry into a shit coin. Because because what could happen is you get into a shit coin and it does a 5x, you don't sell, and then it tanks and dies, and then you're in a worse off position anyway. Better off, in my opinion, not financial advice, is to invest in something that has a collective consensus that is fucking awesome. And that's what Dowge has at this point. So it just makes no sense. Angel, it's not. Like, don't be deluded. That coin that you are mentioning, which I'm not going to say, is shit! And anybody investing in it has got an incredibly low IQ. And what I love about Dowge, this is a high IQ play. This is a high IQ play. And you can gauge the intelligence levels of the community in it by how this has grown. Like, and you can also tell by the relatability that this has got. Because it has spread like wildfire. I think people are just trying to get their addresses on my video. It can spread like if you're going to get your address, be there to be a legend. And if you're buying, then you're actually legendary. This shows you the easiness to understand the mission. The growth of this has been because the mission is easy, the messaging is easy, and the philosophy is being followed. Buy and believe. There we are. Here's one legend. I'm not going to dox your thing, but you're a legend. Yeah, let me... Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Is it here? Yeah, let me leave you with this screen here. How Dowge is killing all these coins at around about its level. It's killing them. This is showing you the strength of Dowge. Dowge is an international movement. Best investment of 2025. I agree with Crypto Queen Amy. Great to see you. Are you still behind All Will Retire? I still hold All Will Retire, yes. I still hold All Will Retire. But, you know, and I'm not putting down All Will Retire at all. Like, it's a different, you know, it's a different concept altogether. You know, there's an end goal, which is retirement, but it's a kind of open end goal. Whereas this is a very clear, tangible end goal. Which is why this has really spread like wildfire and why it's much stronger. But that doesn't mean that it's not got great potential. Super, after this, if I become rich, I'm buying you the beers. Well, I mean, that's a small reward, but okay. Unfortunately, I never get seen in public. You know, seeing me in public, it will be, I mean, even in Dubai, will be almost impossible. It's like trying to find a very rare Pokemon. I don't do public appearances. Because I don't want to end up like John Lennon, basically. Epsilon, glad to have a YouTuber like you really helping the masses with your expertise in crypto rather than abuse them like the grand majority of YouTubers. I agree with you. Thank you very much, Epsilon. You have redeemed yourself, as it were. Check out Energy Coin. Yes. I've heard about, I got some alpha about this early on when this was like much smaller market cap. But again, didn't care for this either. So this Energy Coin has apparently got like all the big YouTubers into it. I think it actually says in the pre-sale who's like Wiz, Virtual Bacon, Lady of Crypto, Overdose, bunch of other people. I think Crypto Banter's in it as well. You know, that bought up supply. Shout.fun, which is kind of like a social base, like Pump.fun, I guess. So, yeah. So I've seen this, but it's stupid. It's stupid. You know, it's almost as bad as that more energy, more passion coin. It's just the difference is this has got like actual influences in it. So I want to thank you for all your gems. Thank you very much, Seafrare. I appreciate that. Love your face, man. Super better than Murad. Mwah. I appreciate you too. I sleep, eat, and sleep, eat, and shit Doge. What a legend! Me too. Well, not the last part. But I really, you know, Dowge to me is a real symbol in cryptocurrency. Like, it represents something very pure. Even under the guise of being a meme coin, it represents a way of being in crypto that works, which is just buy, believe. And the thing is in this, you know, crazy crypto market that we've got nowadays, you know, where people are just rotating, are getting out of coins with absolutely zero conscience, there is no loyalty, there's no obsession, there's no real interest. People don't care, right? And people don't want to buy, believe, and broadcast about any of these. And they don't need to, because what they do doesn't matter. Because the coin's already big and they don't give a shit about you anyway. Whereas the people in Dowge actually are the coin. You guys, the trinites, you are the coin. You make this coin. And like I say, that's a collective power bigger than any huge YouTuber. Honestly. We can do without them. You know, the power of the people is why this is a true movement. Alright, people, I'm going to make a move now. But thank you all very much for being here. Realistic price prediction. There is no price prediction. This has got a limitless ceiling. It could go anywhere to 1 billion, to 100 billion, to 1 trillion, to 30 trillion. Like, I don't know where it's going to go. All I can tell you is that it's an unstoppable force that's only getting bigger, wilder, and more viral by the day. So it doesn't really matter. You know? Be in. Go in for the ride. Locked into Black Token, launched by Elliot. Don't give a fuck about that shit DeFi coin. Right, people. Thank you. Love you lots. You've been amazing. Let the power of the cosmos guide you in your decisions. And the fact of the matter is, if you are a Trinite, fate's already working for you. Thank you for being here. My name's the Superman. You are amazing. And I'll see you next time. It is lights out. All out.